has been a lot of work on this blue 03 Cobra. And it's a nice Sunday, and I think I need a break from it. So let's hop in another vehicle. Why not my 2024 C8 Z06? Alright guys, so I've only done 2 videos on this car. One of the videos was picking it up from McMulkin Chevrolet last November after a 3-year wait. Second video was I fully paint corrected and ceramic coated this car, and then it started raining and snowing, and so it's been kind of under the cover for the last 3 to 4 weeks. But it has 103 miles on it, or 106 miles on it right now. I drove it home from the dealer, and I drove it on Thanksgiving Day, and that was it. Those are the only 2 times I've driven it, but the roads are clear. The forecast looks good for today, and I've got to run down to a buddy's shop down in Plastow today. It's taking back roads, which is what I'd like to do. It's going to be about a 35-40 minute drive. Perfect to put some break-in miles on this thing. As you guys know, it will not let me rev above like 4,500 or 5,000 RPM. You're not supposed to give it, too much throttle. You're not supposed to put it in track mode. Whole bunch of stuff until you hit 500 miles on this thing. So I got a ways to go. This is a perfect opportunity to take some back roads, cruise on a nice spring day, and also drop this tool off. This is the fender roller that I use, Eastwood fender roller, I believe. Yep. That I used to roll the fenders on the 69 Camaro last fall. My buddy Ronnie of Hayden Graphics was nice enough to rent it to me, and they need it back at the shop, so figure I'll toss that in either the frunk or the trunk behind the engine, and we'll return it to him. But first, we gotta get this thing started and get it outside. I have not started or moved this thing since Thanksgiving. Yeah, November of 2023, it is sat right here. So let's fire it up, back it outside, and go do some cruising. That is never gonna get old. Not even glanced at the owner's manual on this thing. Let's try and get the exhaust valves back open. There we go. You just move it over to my mode or sport. Yeah. Oh, gotta put my plate back on after the detail. Shoo, that Riptide Blue metallic though. God damn. What a beautiful sight. Also guys, I finally invested in a new action camera. Went with Insta360 this time instead of GoPro because I've heard it's got pretty good reviews, and also you can pop out this little action pod and pop it into this clip thing here. And the thing that I always struggled with the GoPro in any car was trying to get, my viewers, you guys, good POV, point of view driving. The GoPro, you have to put it above your head, and it was always hitting on the roof of not only this car, the C6, whatever. And it wasn't, as far as looking out of the car, it looked like this. Mostly you guys could only see like the, sun visor there. This thing will allow me to clip it right to the front of the hat right here and should get you guys basically seeing exactly what I'm seeing. Just like the car, I have not even looked at the owner's manual for this thing. So I'm just gonna hope that I can press a button and start recording and maybe get you guys some, you know, point of view driving angles of this car that I wasn't able to get when I first bought it. But for right now, let's click her into drive and hit the road. Wait. Sunglasses. That's better. Big shout out to Heatwave Visual for giving me these awesome sunglasses here. These are the, what model are these? I can't remember. These are the same ones that I've had for the last year. And I left them on an airplane a few weeks ago in Chicago. Got off the plane, got to go get my Uber. Didn't have my sunglasses. They're probably on the floor somewhere. Anyways, the guys at Heatwave were happy to help me back out and get me back in a pair of sunglasses. High quality. Check out all the styles they have on their website, heatwavevisual.com. I'll leave the link in the description if you guys want 10% off your own set of Heatwave stuff. That's shirts, sunglasses, safety glasses, hats, apparel, everything. Use that code, it'll save you 10%. Get yourself some awesome swag. Not too shabby. Now you guys can see what I see. Not too shabby. Now you guys can see what I see. So this is Lake Winnipesaukee. It's the biggest lake in New Hampshire. Can't remember how many miles long it is. I want to say in total it's like 30. It's got tons of little coves and like over 100 islands or something like that. My parents' lake where they live is right over there, and it actually feeds this lake. But yeah, tons and tons of good times up here. Lakes Region, New Hampshire. If you've never been, check it out. Beautiful. Knocking down some braking miles this morning. Woo! Can't wait until this thing's broken in, baby. No PPF gang. Don't tailgate. Looks like I got a stairway of cars here. Heading up to the Mustang Cobra up there. What a beautifully peaceful morning. Not anymore. Good morning, everyone. We are at 313 miles, so we got 187 miles left until the 500-mile break-in is done, and I'm on my way to do the first mod to my 2024 Z06, and that, of course, is window tint. We're fishbowling in here. Everyone can see us. Can't have that. So I'm heading to a local window tint place. What I normally do on all my cars is 5% on the sides and rear and 35% on the windshield. I've been doing that for, I don't know, 10 plus years at this point. Absolutely love it. My dilemma with this car is there's two back windows. There's the partition right here that divides me from that LT6, and then there's obviously the rear hatch window. And I've never owned a mid-engine car before, so I don't really know what the procedure is here. I'm kind of at a loss. My gut is telling me to tint the outside hatch because it will look funny if the side and front window's blacked out and the rear hatch is not. But the other part of me is like, dude, it's a mid-engine car. Like, that window is there so that you can see the engine. And just do the 5% on this back partition here. So tried to look online, get some opinions. It seems like it's pretty much split right down the middle, maybe leaning towards most guys just doing the partition. So I'm going to see what the tint guy says. I think he's done a couple C8s before, see what other people have done, what he recommends, and we'll go from there. And if I don't like it, then we can always change it up. But definitely 5% on the sides and 35% on the windshield. But my appointment is in a few minutes and I'm late, so we're hauling down the highway right now, trying to vary the RPMs, downshifting, upshifting, because we're still in, trying to do the best I can to break this thing in. But let's get this window film applied and see how it looks. Well, it has been a few weeks, maybe even a month or more since I had an update on this car. Pretty sure the last thing I did was tint the windows. That was back in early May, I think. It's now early June, and you guys haven't missed anything. Windows are tinted. As I probably mentioned when I was driving over there, I did the Chris Sullivan, aka Ray Charles, aka None Ya Business package, which is, as always, 5% sides and rear and 35% on the windshield. But I also had the dilemma, you know, with the C8s, do you tint the partition, or really any mid-engine car, do you tint the partition or the rear window? And as you can probably tell, I did not do the rear window. And as of right now, I'm happy. I was afraid it would look weird with, you know, the rear window not tinted and then the sides completely blacked out. But this rear window is so flat, you almost can't even see it unless you're right up on the car. And then if you are, it's like always with the airplanes. Nice military jab. But yeah, decided to go with the partition, which is what most people do, not only because you want to be able to see that beautiful LT6, but also some guys had concerns about the heat that's in that area, and so far I don't regret it at all. Got the partition at 5%. You guys probably can't even tell on camera, but it is awesome in here. The biggest thing that I've noticed thus far is it cuts down on glare on that rear view mirror. When I first got this car, the rear view mirror glare is actually pretty bad on these C8s because it's obviously not a reflection, it's a real digital image or camera image from the rear hatch there. And without the tint, you'd see a reflection on the glass surface here itself, which kind of made you wonder what you're actually seeing. The 5% tint on the rear partition there has completely eliminated that glare. So yeah, no regrets there. But yeah, window tint, check. Since then, I've just been driving this thing around town, to work, errands, you name it. If it's nice out, which this spring has been really nice, I've been driving it. We are currently at 438 miles, which means we have 62 miles left until this thing is broken in, or at least we can get to the full red line of this thing. But I'm getting kind of impatient. I've had parts in boxes for months now, aftermarket parts for this thing, and I'd like to install, not only obviously the window tint is done, but another set of parts on this thing before it's even broken in. Bring on the mods. So let's get back to the garage, see what I got. Just out running some errands right now. I mentioned in the Camaro video, for those of you guys that were here, I had lost a U-joint strap in the grass somewhere, and Advance Auto had one of these way back on the shelf, which I think is exactly what I need for $7. So yeah, hopefully get the Camaro back together and running here shortly. Man, might be time for this thing's first bath pretty soon. It's hard to tell in this lighting, but she is dirty. Pollen season, almost 500 miles of driving. Yep, about that time. But before that, let's get some stuff bolted on this car. First up is some stuff from Extreme Online Store. Happy to be partnering up with these guys for some of the first mods on my C8 Z06. These guys do a ton of stuff for not only the C8 platform, but Mustangs, Chargers, Challengers, Camaros, you name it. So they're just starting to come out with some very specific C8 Z06 stuff. They've been in the C8 game for a while, but they're starting to develop a lot of stuff for the C8 Z06. So I was very happy to partner up with them and get some of that stuff coming my way. First thing here is going to be some splash guards.
So let's get these unboxed and talk a little bit about why I even want them. So here are the Extreme Online Store splash guards. I believe these are the rear ones and these are the front ones. And here's why I'm interested in these things, guys. When I ceramic coated this car a month or two ago, you know, I mentioned that I am not really in the PPF camp. I don't really believe in coating the whole front of the car in a film that, you know, may or may not get beat up and chipped up and look like crap, the same as your paint would. But it's neither here nor there. You guys can go and argue in that video's comments if you want. But what I am worried about on this car, which is the exact same on the C6 Z06, which I really should probably get out from under the cover. It's almost, you know, mid-June now. Anyways, is rock chips on the rear quarters. So on a car like this that has extremely wide rear quarters, what can happen is the front tires can kick up rocks and basically pelt anything that is not or wider than a direct line of sight to back here. You can actually see there's actually a rock up in the massive expanse that is this radiator, you know, pocket here. But anyways, this is really the area that I'm worried about. This is where you're gonna get rocks that come from that tire, make its way up here, nick off this paint, and then there's really nothing you can do about that. I see some guys that, you know, PPF this area and then there's a weird line right here, or some guys will PPF this whole quarter panel, which seems kind of excessive to me. Or the other option is maybe just get a mud flap or a splash guard that it protrudes just wider than the tire that will capture all of those rocks and make sure that none of them make their way back here. I'm not as worried about rock chips on the front end because, as I already mentioned in this ceramic coating video, I don't tailgate people. So what I am worried about is me throwing rocks on myself via my front tire. So if we compare, I don't know which side is which. I think this is, yeah, this is going to be the driver's side, I think, right here. No, this is the driver's, yeah, like this. I don't know. I think, anyways, here you can see the factory one. It's going to be, actually, let me get a light so I can show you guys. There's your factory one. Sticks out, I don't know, like a quarter of an inch. If we put this guy in the same approximate spot, he's going to stick out a good bit further, enough to capture all the rocks from that tire. You can see actually this one's been doing work as is. So yeah, that's the goal here, guys. Not only catch, you know, splashes from puddles and stuff, but for me the big thing is going to be rock chips on that beautiful Riptide blue metallic paint. Rears, same idea. Though these ones have like a brake cooling hole or something back there. So I think it's going to end up going like that. And then this will help to capture any rocks or something that would come up this way. So these are finished in a beautiful carbon flash metallic. You can see compared to the factory mirror right there, all that flake in there. These things have been kind of kicking around for a month or two now, so they're a little bit dusty. I got to wipe them down before I put them on. But yeah, super happy with these. I think that's going to help to not only give it a little bit more of an aggressive look right behind the tire right there, kind of tie in with the carbon flash metallic side skirt, but most importantly, protect our paint from rock chips. So yeah, let's see what it takes to get these things installed. I have no idea, honestly, but it looks like some push pins and maybe some, you know, very easy Phillips hardware possibly. But yeah, let's get to work, get these splash guards installed. Bolting on the first mods to my 2024 C8 Z06. Let's go. Celtics in 4, baby, let's go.
stop recording. Middle of a cold startup. Who does that? How dare you ruin the sacredness of a cold startup? Bummer. Anyways, moved the C8 over one bay so that I can get it up on the quick jacks. Had to kick the 69 Camaro off the quick jacks that has been on the quick jacks for like 6 weeks now, because I think it's going to be easier to get these splash guards installed up in the air. Beautiful Saturday morning, got a full day of car stuff and house projects and stuff to work on. Last night, I got these babies polished out and ceramic coated. They had just been, like I said earlier, they'd been just kind of kicking around in the garage, in the storage area over there. So they had a couple scuffs on them. So quick polish, no big deal. Now they're ceramic coated just like the rest of the car. Look at that beautiful carbon flash metallic, ready to roll, son. So let's get this thing up in the air. The front should be pretty easy. I think the rears will be too, but I think that the wheels are gonna have to come off to get the rears on. I have some mods coming up for this, but I'm not gonna do it in this video, so it's kind of a bummer. I'm gonna have to take the wheels off twice. That's the only hint you're getting. But you need to be extremely careful if you have carbon ceramic brakes like this and you're removing the wheels. GM actually gives you these little like styrofoam protectors that allegedly you're supposed to kind of finagle through the spokes onto the carbon ceramic brakes, you know, just so you don't accidentally nick the brake or the rotor with the wheel as you're taking it off. Other guys make like these studs that can help you guide them off. Because if you chip one of these rotors, they're junk, and I don't know how much they cost. I'll put it up on the screen right now, but I want to say they're close to like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 each. Like a full set of carbon ceramics for this car is like 20 grand. So yeah, carbon ceramic brakes, you know, they're a big expense, but if you are not tracking the car, you know, every single weekend, not only do they have less brake dust, they should last like 100,000 miles, if not the life of the vehicle. So when you think about replacing steel brakes on a car like this every, you know, 15, 20,000 miles, depending on how you drive it, it's really not that bad. And for me, what I've noticed already is, like I said, almost zero brake dust. But anyways, you got to be really careful when you're removing your wheels with carbon ceramic brakes. I don't think I'm going to put those styrofoam things on. If I chip one of the rotors, we can always come back and laugh at this clip. But anyways, let's get this thing up in the air, get those beautiful splash guards on, and check one more thing off the list here. Just found something, just wanted to show you guys real quick. I think GM said when I was at the factory tour that they spent like $400 million on the new paint facility for the C8 Corvette. Look at that. I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but to me that looks like a little baby run.
Just a little baby. Man, my fingernails are dirty. Huh. Guys, I have been through this car by ceramic coating it with a fine-tooth comb, and it is perfect. That is the first flaw? I don't know. Like if I didn't show you guys, no one would ever see that. It's only because you're this far from the paint that you would see something like that. But I have been over the moon about the quality of this car. I think I've mentioned this in previous videos that guys who own, Ferraris and Lamborghinis and McLarens say that the quality in the C8 has been on par or above some of those, exotics. So fit and finish on this car is perfect. It's almost a relief to see something like that. Like, interesting, just a tiny little baby run in the clear coat on the very bottom of the rear bumper from the factory. Painted by a robot and a computer that, who knows, maybe they added a half of an ounce too much clear coat. Who knows? But I don't know, just geeking out this Saturday morning. Back to work. Man, it is a beautiful Saturday morning for a cruise through the wildlife preserve in the Z06. Got our splash guards installed. Here's the rear ones, looking sharp in our carbon flash metallic. Same thing on the front. The wheel's a little bit turned, but you guys can see what I'm talking about. Protrudes like another inch, maybe inch and a half. Lines up perfectly with the factory OEM side skirt there. That should collect all the rocks and prevent them from being tossed up on the rear quarter panel there. Same thing over here, actually. Before I had installed these, maybe you won't be able to see on camera, but there's actually a couple of rock chips under here already. These Pilot Sport tires, all they do is collect rocks and throw them. They're sticky, they're track oriented, that's awesome, but man, do they throw rocks. But yeah, nice easy install. I'm very happy with how they look, and I'm sure I'll be happy with how they perform as well. As always, the link will be in the description for those Extreme Online Store splash guards for your C8 Z06. I did cave and use the rotor guards, or whatever you call it, from GM. It really only took like 30 seconds or less to put them on, so I caved, and actually kind of glad I did. A little bit of extra peace of mind to make sure that we don't chip the rotors. Very expensive. We do not want to do that. But yeah, loving this car, guys. Having a blast. Great day for it. Get out there and cruise. Good day for it, boys. Woo! Here's a better shot with the wheels straightened out, guys. You can see the... Well, excuse all the pollen. The pollen here is terrible. I don't know if it is where you guys are, but you can see that splash guard is now going to do a much better job of gathering or collecting or preventing those rocks from going right to the rear quarter. Now, I will say, one thing I forgot to mention, I am concerned, and some of you may have already commented on this, this is a painted part right here, getting rocks thrown at it from basically point blank. And, you know, I would expect that these are eventually going to get rock chips on them, at least on the wheel well side. Hey, I'd rather repaint or replace some, you know, relatively cheap splash guards every year or two, or a few years, than have to repaint an entire quarter panel and worry about matching, you know, Riptide blue metallic. So we'll see how they hold up, at least on this side. I mean, this is a beautiful carbon flash metallic, matches the carbon flash metallic / pollen rear diffuser there, and the side skirts and the wishbone or fishbone, whatever everyone calls that thing. So not bad, not too shabby. Well, this has been pretty productive, you guys. Not only did we're at 451 miles. So in this video, I put 350 miles on this car. And we have, as of right now, this moment, 49 miles to go until we get that full 8,600 RPM red line. We tinted the windows. We added the Extreme Online Store, carbon flash metallic splash guards, front and rear. And completely forgot to mention this, but you guys saw in the B-roll, I added some jacking pucks as well. I've got them in an anodized blue, billet aluminum anodized blue. Super easy install, took 30 seconds, and now I got a good point to jack this car up, either with quick jacks or with a jack, make sure we're not going to damage any of the kind of fragile underside of this car, which is mostly aluminum, carbon fiber, and plastic. So yeah, this has been awesome. I've been having a blast driving this car. Spring has been pretty good, and cannot wait to keep ripping this thing this summer. I've got a ton more mods coming for this thing, and more importantly, just hearing this thing sing, that beautiful LT6 back there sing at 8,600 RPM, all that's going to be coming up in the next video. Can't wait to show you guys. That's going to do it for this one. If you're enjoying the C8 Z06 content, give it a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, let me know what you think, what else you want to see, and be sure to tune in for the next one. We will catch you guys then.